beautimous. Okay. Alright, I could probably turn that camera off because we're done with the juicing part, other than me putting a lid on that, putting it in the refrigerator. Morning. What we're going to do this morning is take that highbush cranberry juice that I got, and we're going to use my jelly from anything recipe. 4-pound bag of sugar. A pound of sugar has about 2 cups. 2 cups per pound. So there's 8 cups in here. This recipe has 7 cups in it. So what I did was I took 1 cup out of this bag and put it in the other sugar bag. So this is my sugar. 1 box of pectin. I'm going to use 4 cups of highbush cranberry juice. The recipe calls for 5 cups. Let me list this. 7 cups sugar, 5 cups juice, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, about a teaspoon or less of butter, and that's the an anti-foaming agent, and I put just a pinch of salt in it. I don't know why. I just put a pinch of salt in there. What we're going to do is I've got water boiling right now. The water, it doesn't need to be boiling right now, but it needs to be boiling when we're done with the jelly. The water is going to get poured on those lids right at the point where our jelly starts to boil. We're going to take the jars and dip them in the hot water, set them aside. All this time, we're stirring the jelly. What we do to get started is we combine our juice with our pectin, with our pinch of salt, and with our teaspoon of butter. Heat that over a medium heat, keep stirring it, and then you bring it to a boil that you can't stir down. Once you get to that point, no. Well, remember, it's been a year since I made jelly. what we're going to do is we're going to keep stirring it, and when it just comes to a boil, we're going to start adding our sugar. And I don't want you to dump the sugar all in at once. You add it a little bit in as you stir it. Just keep stirring it in. Okay, then we bring that to a boil that you can't stir down. And I'll show you that in the video. And at that point, we start timing 3 minutes. And you keep stirring. And with your third hand while you're stirring this, that's when you pour the water on the lids and you just dip the jar in the boiling water. We're going to dip the jars first, pour the rest in the pan on the lids. 3 minutes of a boil you can't stir down while you're stirring constantly. Shut the heat off. Instantly the boil will go down, and I'll look to see if there's any foam on the top. If there is any foam, we'll take a tablespoon or something and skim that off. And then what we want to do is put it in the jar as fast as we can using a jar funnel. Screw the lid on tight and then turn that jar upside down. Fill all the jars. This recipe makes between 70 and 80 ounces of jelly. So I've got 10 8-ounce jars here. But anyways, what you do is we'll put the lid on, turn them upside down, invert them. And that 300 or whatever degree plus jelly will completely sterilize these. And at 5 minutes, be sure to set your timer for 5 minutes after you get all the jars filled and inverted. Then you flip them back up. Because if you forget to flip them back up, the jelly will all congeal in the top, and then you'll have an air space at the bottom of the jars. It doesn't look good. So, let's get started. I forgot to add that I have a little bit of apple cider left. So what I'm going to use is 4 cups of the highbush cranberry juice, 1 cup of cider, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and that's going to be my juice. This juice is very red. That's what the newspapers are for. 1, 2, 3. Well, there's a lot of pulp in this. 4. And, you know, I don't think I had that completely to the top, so I'm going to add just a little bit there. Okay, now, there's my cup of cider. Yum. That wasn't quite all the way to the top. Just a little dash more. Okay, now let me wash my measuring cup off. Alrighty. There's a drip of juice on the floor. Alright, where's a 1/4 on here? Right there. My 1/4 cup of juice, lemon juice. Where's my pectin? There it is. Sure, Joe. I think the Sav-a-Lot brand that I usually use, that it's written down on my recipe that I've written down someplace, is Jell-Ease. I believe it's called Jell-Ease. Okay. There's that. That looks like a teaspoon, eh? Don't worry about it. It's going to be to 300 to 400 degrees. Sticking my little finger in there ain't going to hurt nothing. Besides, I'm eating it. Alrighty. I see some bubbles. 7 cups of sugar, 5 cups of juice, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1 package of pectin, about a part of a teaspoon of butter for anti-foaming. Oh, I forgot my pinch of salt. I can do that after I get this sugar in here. See, that is why you pour it in slow. I got a big old floating glob in there, sugar. So there's my sugar. Where's my pinch of salt? Alright, let's truly make it a pinch. We want to heat it. You should continually stir this. There'll be times where I'll stop for a moment or two to do different things, but try to keep continually stirring it. We're going to bring it to a boil, and at that point where you can't stir it down, which is kind of subjective, I guess, you start timing. 3 minutes. Okay, we're starting to get some boiling action here. I'm getting pretty close to the point, within seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to dip my glass, my jars, go back to stirring. I still was able to stir that down a little bit. Alright, I can't stir that down. So 9:49 and 16. Now we need to go to 9:52 and 15. Hopefully I got enough pan here. So 9:52 and 15 seconds, and we'll have our 3 minutes of cooking. This pan is just barely big enough. I've got a spoon someplace and a paper plate, so I'm gonna, once I turn this off, this will drop right back down, and then if there's any foam on the top, I'm gonna quickly try to skim that off. I just hope we don't go over the top here. Oh, I better turn down just a little bit. Medium heat. That might have been medium high. Alright, we got about a minute. I need to take and pour this on the lids. Alright, well, we got 15 more seconds. Okay. Oh. Alrighty, there we go. Quite a bit of foam on there. Well, the jelly's been cooling for, I don't know, a little over an hour, hour and 15 minutes, and I started hearing some jars pop. So I thought here's the one that wasn't full. This is highbush cranberry. Oh! It's pretty good. It's pretty good. This isn't my favorite jelly by any means, but we have the berries out here, and I thought I'd make jelly. I've made jelly from them in the past. Next year, there's a little aftertaste with highbush that I'm not fond of, but my father-in-law loves it. My friend Steve loves it. So they're both going to get some. My favorite's probably blueberry, apple cider, strawberry, and grape, not so much. I got a story about grape sometime. Those are my favorite. Oh, choke cherry too. I like choke cherry jelly. But you can make jelly from anything with this recipe. Hope you try it. Hope you like it. And toodaloo. I better turn the cameras off. Okay. Was that one even on? Ah! I have my phone back.